Iceland is not a country particularly well known for its rock bands or its rock stars, but in 1986 a band emerged which became the darlings of the indie music press both in Europe and in America. They were the Sugar Cubes. They released a debut album and then they followed that up with a brilliant album called Here Today, Tomorrow Next Week, a much misunderstood album, I think. They then came out with an album called Stick Around for Joy, but the Sugar Cubes decided not to stick around. In fact, they broke up, and that was the end of that. Except that lead singer Björk had much different ideas. She released an album in 1993, one of the most exciting, innovative and also eclectic albums of the 1990s. She's followed that up with another album, completely different, but just as exciting and just as eclectic, and that album is called Post. So Björk, first of all, congratulations on the album. It's absolutely brilliant. Tell me, first of all, why Compass Point? Why did you go there? Was it for the weather, or was it for the history that that studio has?
I actually got an Irish accountant, and he advised me to go there to save money on tax. So we would basically, that's why.
That's a good enough reason. What about the musicians you have on the album? I mean, you have like harpsichord, you have Irish uilleann pipes, you have the strings and Deodato, etc. Do you invite these people in to do things to your songs, or do you invite these people in to do whatever they want to do with your songs, or do you tell them what to do?
Each person I've got different relationship with. Sometimes I have to tell them exactly what to do, and in most cases the reason why I work with other people is because they can do what I can't do. And that's, so sometimes they know more about that than I do.
And what about the actual recording process for the album? I mean, did you stay in the studio, as most people do when they recorded an album, or did you take it outside into the sunshine or into the night?
Well, I did record the vocals at midnight by the ocean, but the rest was recorded normally. My name is so bad, married to myself. My love is so bad, living sad. When she does it, it means to.
So why did the Sugar Cubes break up?
Well, we never really existed, you see. It was a joke. It was a weekend band because in Iceland, because it's so small there, and if you want to have a film festival, you have to make it yourself. Yeah. And if you want a good club, you have to start it yourself. And if you want a weekend band to dance to, you have to sort of play in it yourself, you know. So Sugar Cubes were one of those, but they were really sort of poets and sort of novelists and people like that, sort of pretending they could do guitar solos for a laugh. But the whole world misunderstood it, you see. So it was a con. We were conned. Well, we decided, we resisted for 2 years. And 9 of the biggest record companies came to Iceland and tried to force us into being pop stars. We refused. Then after 2 years of that, we finally thought maybe we should try this, because then when we're 75 and talking to our children from our rocking chairs, we might have regretted that we didn't try this. Right. So that's why we did it. And found ourselves very quickly doing guitar solos in Texas. But it was only funny for a while, you know. And then when we sort of tasted it, knew what it was like, we decided not to do it anymore.
But were you happy with the way the foreign press had treated the Sugar Cubes at first and then became unhappy, or do you realize it's just a game you have to play?
And one day they love you, next day they hate you. So I cannot do what I do, and it doesn't matter if people like it or not. If they do like it, it's a bonus, but I can survive easily without it.
But what about coming right up to the present now? I mean, with the current album, with Post. I mean, Army of Me, the single, let's just say the first single. With the movie Tank Girl, did you have a look at what the rushes of Tank Girl were at first and decided, yeah, this is exactly what I want?
Well, I liked the comics, and people that did the comics, they asked me to act in the film, but since I'm not an actress, I said no. And then they asked me to put a song in the film, but I asked them to see the film, and they wouldn't let me see it for some stupid reason. And then they gave me, they sent me the trailer, which doesn't really show you the ingredients of films. It just shows you the surface of it. And I thought the surface was kind of all right. And since they wouldn't let me see the picture, I flipped the coin and then ended up giving them the song. Stand up, you got to manage. And
The image of Björk has been written about so often that nobody has a clue anymore what you are or what you are not. I mean, I'm sure you've laughed at some of the descriptions of what Björk is, because you say, that's not me. But I mean, are you tough? Are you hard to work with?
I feel very strongly, I'm very stubborn about my ideas and feel very strongly. But probably because my mother was a hippie in the good sense of the word, I was a punk. I've been brought up with in a way that I don't control other people and other people don't control me. As long as you will let me be myself, I won't be aggressive to you, and vice versa, you know. And that's the sort of philosophy I believe in.
Also, you said before that your favorite subject at school was mathematics. Would you bring a mathematical mind or a bent to the way you make your songs, record your songs, or write your songs?
Music and mathematics are the same thing, you see. And it's a known phenomenon that children who are talented musically, they're very good in mathematics. They may be crap in everything else, and vice versa. It is because of the structure. Half of music, people think music is this gorgeous, completely abstract thing, which is true, but the thing which is gorgeous about music, it's got these complete contrast, opposites. Half of it is complete mathematics, the structure of like rhythm is it's just mathematics, like 1, 3, 4, or 7. And you repeat that 11 times, and you have a build-up, and then you crash, and then it's the outro, and all the structure. It's just a very, very cold, clever landscape you're creating. You know, even you're aware of it or not. The other half of it is completely abstract emotion, which is so gorgeous. So you got the opposites in the same thing.
Have you had any formal musical training? I mean, when you grew up, I know you played the flute at a very early age. Did you actually go to any school or get any class?
Yeah, I was in musical school for 10 years, from 5 to 15, and learn about European musical history, the last 500 years or so. And then, you know, Stockhausen and Schoenberg and Weber and all that.
I mean, the thing about it is that you're known for so many different things, but one of them being innovative videos. I mean, videos that are different than anybody else's. Is this important to you, or do you find this is just something I have to do that has nothing to do with the music, but it's part of the business?
Well, basically, I come from a bit of a punk background, where I think all you have to do is kind of like scream a song in the microphone and then go home and sulk. And then slowly, surely, I've sort of found out that maybe that's not the way to do it. And maybe this is a pathetic, boring explanation, but since I am a woman and a mother of a child, it began especially with debut. I felt that my songs were like my children. And with children, you can't just give birth to them and then say, see you later, you know? You have to make sure you don't own them or anything, but you have to make sure that they get the best education possible, the best health care, that they are introduced to human nature and learned how to deal with it so people don't treat you badly, and all those things. And then maybe when the kid is 15 or 20 or something, it has to manage on its own, you know? With my music, I tend to try to protect it as much as I can, all the way till it's in a record shop. So it will get the album sleeve that it deserves, it will get the video it deserves, it will get the photographs it deserves. And the photographs are not of me. They are of the person who made that music. And the videos are not about me, they're about the music. And that's why I follow up so closely on everything that is done with my music, very, very firmly. And it's not because I'm a control freak and I want to control the universe, because that's probably the thing I'm least interested in, but because I'm very protective towards my music, that's why.